Sam, let's start it up.
Hey, good morning, everybody. 6:03 this morning on Richmond's Morning News. Happy Friday to you. It is June 5th, the year of our Lord 2026, and I appreciate you joining me this morning here on Richmond's Morning News. I got a busy morning for you on this Friday. It's going to be a glorious day around Central Virginia. The weather is going to be perfect, 91 degrees. This will be a clone copy of what we had yesterday, and I am so excited to be with you this morning here on News Radio WRVA. All right, that's as happy talk as I'm going to go for you this morning, because today's show will be very stressed out because Cup of Joe producing the show today, Super Dave, who when he jumped in, moved here from St. Louis to become the executive producer of this radio program. He hasn't even got a chance to get a breather since he hit the ground running. So he's taking some much deserved time off to finish unpacking boxes and all the rest of the stuff you have to do to move. I know what that's like. So we gave him the day off, gave him some time off next week. But as I walk into the show this morning, I see Cup of Joe standing there, and he's completely thrown off the entire morning. So I cannot guarantee the quality of this radio show this morning, because the dude had the audacity to show up wearing an Umbro soccer shirt.
I could have worn the tie-dye that I wore last week.
This is worse than your tie-dye. You have the worst fits of any grown man that I know.
This is America. It's red, white, and blue.
Okay, you were the perfect example this morning, Cup of Joe. You're a great dad. You're a great man. You're a man of faith. I respect you so much. But there's just something a little askew this morning that I need to point out to America and everybody here in Richmond, Virginia. As you wear that shirt, you realize, do you know where the decline of Western civilization began?
I do. I don't.
AYSO soccer.
Okay.
Brian Kilmeade and I will disagree with this all day long. I'll invite everybody to chime in this morning. The James River Air text line, that's your way of sounding off this morning on News Radio WRVA, 833-804-1140. We read the best ones at 6:55, 7:55, and 8:55. America is built on what? A meritocracy. You work hard, you get ahead. We have winners, we have losers. Everyone has an opportunity. Nothing is given to you. Nothing is handed to you. There is no opportunity for you just to, everybody can just kind of be the same. No, we're going to work hard and we're going to win. That's what a meritocracy is. What is soccer all about? What did soccer teach a whole generation of kids, starting with the Gen Xers to the entitled, spoiled little brats we have right now? It taught them that everybody gets a participation trophy. Everybody's a winner. You're all special, and we don't keep score.
So that started with soccer, wasn't T-ball?
No, T-ball, we kept score. You won, you lost. Everybody got to play, which means everybody got an opportunity. And then those that did well got to play more. Those that didn't played less. Work hard, get ahead, right? That's what life is. What did soccer teach us as little kids? AYSO. We're not going to keep score. Everybody gets a ribbon. Everybody gets a trophy. Everybody's special. That started this entire anti-meritocracy that we have now that's enveloped the United States of America. And I will tell you this. Maybe I'm being silly. Maybe I'm being overdramatic, but it really did start with soccer.
I didn't know that. I remember playing T-ball.
Right.
And we kept score. But
Yeah.
my son now, when he plays T-ball, they don't keep score.
Where do they learn that from?
I didn't know soccer was
Youth
the beginning
soccer
of
didn't
that.
keep score. No, we don't want to keep score. We don't want them to feel bad when they lose. Yes, I want them to feel bad. I want you to lose. I want you to know something. And I'm going to get to Richmond's Morning News here in just a second in our news brief. But you want to know why we have so many kids that are completely in angst right now? Because they've never lost in their entire life. They don't know how to lose. They don't. If you don't know how to lose, that means you don't know how to pick yourself up when life gives you a setback. Life is about surviving setbacks.
No, I agree with that.
I am so glad that my son has lost over and over and over again, because it's made him resilient and it's made him work hard. And he's not a kid wearing a ski cap when it's 102 degrees, standing there with squiggly line tattoo on his arm, not knowing what he wants to do at the age of 28, but he hates capitalism. If you hate capitalism, do you hate capitalism because, hey, I want everybody to be in a collective? Or do you hate capitalism because you don't want to compete? It all started with soccer. You guys tell me if you. I want to hear from Richmond this morning. 833-804-1140. Love kids playing sports. Love kids going out, doing things, get fresh air, touch grass, blah, blah, blah. But I want you to learn how to handle being a winner with grace and class. And I want you to learn how to handle life setbacks and losses.
Absolutely.
As a parent, you need to teach your kids how to lose, how to do it gracefully, how to do it without having a complete meltdown, how to lose, be disappointed, then get back up. And I'm going to say something really, really profound right now. You know what you're supposed to be preparing them for?
What's that?
To bury you.
Oh.
What's the ultimate loss anybody will have? The loss of a parent. How are they going to react when they have to pick up and be on their own? If they've never had to be on their own and you've covered them, if you're Katie Wilson and your mom and dad in Seattle, the socialist mayor, gives you money, if you're Graham Plattner, the guy who's running in Maine, he's an oyster farmer, right? His mom gave him the oyster farm, and then she buys all the oysters from him for his restaurant. You don't know how to stand on your own 2 feet. You don't know how to pick yourself back up, and that's what you learn when you have to overcome loss. Anyway, all right, now I'm way over time on Richmond's Morning News, but I saw that this morning, and it just made me think about that. This is the kind of show you're going to get today, folks. Without Super Dave here, I am on my own again, and I will probably get in trouble. Let's get to Richmond's Morning News Brief. Big story number one is Iran. In fact, you know what? We're not going to use any of the sound from Foxwood. Let me just get to this so I get through in time so we don't fall behind this morning. Anyway, it is 6:10 this morning here on Richmond's Morning News after my rant about soccer and socialism. All right, story number one, Iran, the latest, still waiting.
Number one.
Okay, here's the latest in Iran. We told you yesterday that the United States had brokered a peace deal between Lebanon and Israel. Well, Hezbollah says we don't want to be part of that. So we'll see where that leads. Still waiting on what's going to go on between these two. Donald Trump says he's going to be patient. Iran continues to flex. Now they're just sending back memos, and we'll see who blinks first. By the way, Ukraine yesterday asked for peace talks with Russia. Vladimir Zelensky said, I will sit down and talk with the Russian president. Meanwhile, the U.S. Congress, despite Donald Trump's misgivings, voted to appropriate more money and arms to Ukraine. We'll keep an eye on those stories for you this morning on Richmond's Morning News. Story number two. I mentioned Graham Plattner. He's in the news. He's running in the Democratic primary for Maine to be their next senator, and he got blasted by the New York Times.
Number two.
All right, so Plattner is this supposed blue-collar guy. He's a former Marine. He's a man's man. He's basically their version of John Fetterman. At least that's what they thought they were getting. Turns out Plattner has got a sordid past. He's got a Totenkopf tattoo that he said he got when he was a young Marine in Croatia. The Totenkopf tattoo is one that SS Nazi guards that guarded the concentration camps wore. He had it, covered it up. It's just getting worse now. A group of women have come out and said, oh, yeah, he was not a great guy. Democrats continue to stand behind him. We'll see what happens. I'm going to talk about that coming up on Richmond's Morning News. That's the second big story of the day. Third big story of the day, the Border Patrol and ICE are funded, but the SAVE Act goes down in defeat.
Number three.
So yesterday, in a long 17-hour vote-a-rama is what they call it, the SAVE Act went down to defeat. You know, the one that says, hey, hi, I'd like to vote. Great, show me who you are. Do you have a license? Great, here you are. Let me enjoy the rules. Okay, now we know we have voter integrity. And 4 Republicans actually voted that down, including Mitch McConnell. Mitch, just go away. Seriously, since you've not been the Senate majority leader, you've just been acting like a petulant child. Time for you just to go away. Tom Tillis, same thing. I know you're not running for re-election, so now you get to just kind of throw a monkey wrench and everything. Go away. Anyway, while that went down to defeat, the Republicans did in the Senate pass funding for ICE and the Customs and Border Patrol for the entirety of the Trump administration. So that happened yesterday in D.C. Story number 4, NBA Finals coming up tonight.
Number 4.
All right, the New York Knicks up 1-0 over San Antonio. They'll play tonight, and then this weekend they'll play Madison Square Garden. Donald Trump said he's going to show up at the game. NHL Finals last night. Hurricanes overcome a huge deficit. They win in overtime 4-3. That series is tied at 1 apiece. And finally, I need to get time for this. It's National Donut Day, story number 5.
Number 5.
I had to stop by 7-Eleven this morning because I ran out of Diet Coke. And I knew I wasn't going to have Gary here today. Wasn't going to have Super Dave here today. I've got Cup of Joe, who I love like a brother. And then he walks in wearing the soccer stuff, which has completely thrown me off. But I knew I had to have enough Diet Coke to get me through the entire show. They had trays and trays and trays and trays and trays of donuts this morning. I'm like, that's kind of weird. I've never walked into a 7-Eleven at 4 in the morning and had that many donuts. I should have known it's National Donut Day. I'll talk about donuts because I like talking about food. What's your favorite donut? Cup of Joe? The basic.
I'm a Krispy Kreme guy.
No, not brand. What kind?
Like just the glazed
donut.
Just glazed Krispy Kreme
It's
donut.
like the cornerstone of the donut empire. Some people like chocolate, but glaze is where it's at.
Chocolate with sprinkles is what my daughter likes.
Sprinkles are great. Old fashions. Then you get into the fritters, donut holes. I'm a big maple donut fan. Love me. There's this place in San Diego. They serve big, gigantic, like the size of Princess Leia's, the side of her head. You know, the Star Wars cinnamon bun. It's the size of a cinnamon bun donut. Hot. Maple on top, then bacon bits, big, gigantic chunks of bacon.
Have you tried Sugar Shack here in Richmond? They have one of those.
Is it hot?
It's been a while.
No. I know it's popular. No,
remember.
this is like a hot one that comes out like a hot entree for
I believe
breakfast.
it is.
That would be outstanding.
Sugar Shack. You got to check it out.
Don't be afraid to send us one.
Yeah.
Look, here I'm just begging for free food. Anyway, that's your Richmond Morning News Brief this morning here on News Radio WRVA. All right, we've got a lot to get to today. Of course, Dave Saunders comes by the program every Friday because